Hello everybody, welcome back to Language Litigation and Integration Part 60, Going to Church. Sunday morning, I just want to watch some Rock City church preaching today. So I thought it would be a fun exercise to watch again. It's like I said, a very casual church goer from a Catholic society, never been religious, like have way more understanding of historical understanding of what occurred and language understanding of what occurred. But I thought it would be actually pretty funny and a fun influence to watch the preacher and just take some notes and just, anything historical or linguistical I can, add to the conversation. But I just thought it would be a funny exercise, and it's Sunday morning, so I had nothing to fucking watch. There's nothing on TV besides the news. We'll talk about Roe versus Wade. We'll talk about, there's been an absolutely hilarious exchange on Reddit. So we've talked about the Reddit moderators here. So one of the Reddit moderators' marriage might be on the rocks. There may be some relevant stories of scientific denial. But again, I just did this as a fucking exercise. Listening to a sermon as anything but a religious person. Again, as proven in this literal lecture series, the Old Testament and the New Testament are different because they're about different people. The Bible as a whole is more of a collection of letters. People didn't really sit down and write books like they do today. Language itself developed really to keep track of business. So, that was just kind of the starting place. And also, again, you can tell, if you just take any person that claims to be religious and starts talking about Jesus or God, you'll see a clear differentiation of different people. They'll say Jesus, the Son of God, God this, Jesus, instinctually. Like they'll instinctually separate out two different people. But, so for my sermon today, when I was learning I've also seen Billy Graham on the TV. I should pray to Jesus, dear God, I'm a sinner. Forget the rest of the prayer, but I prayed with you many times, Billy Graham. I want my soul to be saved. And it's also, again, like the Sam Harris, the Sean Carrolls, their big intellectual step is to say they're atheists. And again, I don't like, I'm too intelligent to approach religion as a meaningful word of anything. There were scientists in history that were really prominent, and people made up weird fucking stories after. And that's kind of what religion became. But in our sermon today, we talked about that God would have no choices made in fear, or Jesus would have no choices made in fear. In this lecture series, I've told you fear and regret aren't like real emotions, and it's just speciality, again, stagnation of society at any point in history. Also have a quote here, it all will work out in the end. That's kind of like what people say in any genuine problem today. That's like, it will all work out in the end, even referencing death kind of implicitly, but it's because it's true. And so fear is not a reason to make a decision. He called fear demonic. Just a quick relevant story I have down here is at Antrim Park. I used to live in Dublin. Antrim Park, one of my favorite parks around Columbus that I've been. Definitely should check that place out. It's just got a nice couple mile loop around a pond and some longer walking, biking trails if you like. But one day there was two evangelicals, people literally there, do you want to hear about God? Do you want to hear about Jesus? Handing out little flyers. And at Antrim Park, you walk down and there's you go under an overpass, under a highway. So it's a walking path with maybe shoulder width, maybe 3 or 4 people across, one guy on this side, one guy on this side. So I just go up to the guy, and he's like, can I teach you about Jesus? I'm like, yes, you can teach me about the Jesus. I would love to hear it. And again, just your typical evangelical shit, and I just go, no, that's all wrong. He was a prodigious linguist. That's what spread the word of God means. And the guy goes, oh, now that you put it like that, and he just stuns him. Here's a proof. Oh, Jesus, special stuff. Now it's just a scientist, and he proves things, and people think it's some weird thing. But the guy again just dumbfounded. He's like, yeah, that's kind of right. And then the other guy on the other side, and you can. It wasn't a tense exchange or anything, but I just proved to him his own preaching was wrong. And then the guy on the other side of the path goes, just leave us alone and get out of here. I didn't say get the fuck out of here, but get out of here in a very angry mad. And I was just literally laughing. I was like, yep, this is the way Jesus did it. This is Jesus. Get out of here. So I thought that was fucking hilarious. Again, I just had that written down as a random story. And back to our sermon lessons. There was a quote from Matthew, you are the salt of the earth, you are the light of the world. Emphasis on salt and emphasis on light. Again, Matthew, Jesus didn't write anything down. these are all people that experienced him and wrote shit down, or even were just around these people, and the scholars later on. But again, in the same way we can remember one or two taglines, that stuck with you a long time. That's true at the species level as well. And so that struck me as interesting, the salt of the earth. Right? Salt is very relevant to our metabolism. It's a mineral. And so, again, just ancient awareness of, again, just biology and the relevance of minerals and whatnot stuff. Preacher, he lit his tits on fire with a youth at the church camp. He told some story about going to church camp, and he fell asleep and the kids were like lighting their tits on fire with just like some, I don't know, just like a quick like bug spray or something, quick flammable, light their tits on fire and then like not burn themselves though. And he joined in, I guess, and his wife wasn't too happy. There was in the Bible they talk about to be a steward of God. To steward is to direct, in parentheses, good. So that's a direct translation of that contextual usage of the word steward. Steward generally would be more towards a servant, but again, Jesus the translator, God the prover of words. To be a steward of God's word is to direct the good conversation. And then he talks about the 7 spheres of influence in every culture. I just thought this was pretty interesting of the hierarchy he gave. He said the church, as Jesus, has the most influence, meaning he's influenced the most people. Which historically the Catholic Church is absolutely, I can't speak for all of history, but known relevant history certainly has done a profound amount of influence throughout the world. So that's historically true. And again, Jesus was the translator of the Word of God. But so God, then Jesus, and then second they had government, third they had education, fourth he had business, 5 media, 6 art and entertainment, 7 family. I substantially doubt God would not have been a family person. Government, I'm just like the hierarchy of what's actually the most influential in society. Again, education, again this is coming from ancient times, so certainly education, family. I don't know, I just thought that was interesting. But in the sermon he keeps talking about evil and demons and being demonic. What's the opposite of bon and bueno? French, good, or Spanish, good. Malo, evil. Literally translates to evil, not to bad. So again, that was just an interesting translation. It's certainly linguistically evident. He was clearly against the pronouns in schools in the name of Jesus. Again, Jesus was a fag, 100%, absolutely fucking positive. Brad, how do you know that? It's like when you find a fucking ancient artifact on the fucking ground. You don't find one plate or one cup. You find a whole civilization. When you have a top-down view, you just see what they've done. If someone's better at basketball than somebody else, the person that's less competent is going to notice, and the guy more competent is going to notice. So it's just like that. He says we are called to be sheep, as a quote of Jesus, in a very emphatic, relevant way. That's clearly referencing Aaron, God. Jesus referencing God the shepherd. We are the sheep, God's the shepherd. Jesus planned to change the world one person at a time. Clearly an understanding of speciality and infinite biological uniqueness. And he also some Bible quote about shackles falling off. That's when everyone gets enlightened. That's when everyone in the room realizes, oh, we don't have to be waddling around in insecurity for our whole fucking lives. I think it was some Bible story about singing in the prisons and everyone's shackles fell off. But clearly, Jesus' plan of the world one person at a time is intimate understanding of speciality and infinite biological uniqueness. I thought this was interesting. He used a quote, "Go home to your family." I didn't have the exact Bible verse down, but it was in the book of Mark. And something to the effect, paraphrasing, "Tell them what mercy God has shown you." And that strikes me historically as like somebody fucked up and God could have legally killed him and just said, nah. But he used it as a way of like, look how loving our God and Jesus is. And again, this was clearly God. But God was brutal. History's brutal. And, go show you how much God has mercy on you. And literally, contextually, that strikes me as like he let him off without murdering him. So yeah, go talk about the mercy of God. That's a good one. But also, he's also talking about at the end of the sermon, standing before God. And I just have LOL. Have you guys ever tried to contact a principal of a company? Is it really easy to get a meeting? Can you get a lunch with Warren Buffett? Human beings must think a lot of themselves if they think they're going to stand before God without getting a fucking meeting, without doing something substantial. I mean, genuinely, for anybody. I mean, think of your own family. How many of your great-great-great-great-great-grandparents do you know? How many of your future lineage are you going to know? Very few. And guess what? We're all human beings. We're all doing the same shit. We all eat, sleep, shit, want careers. It's the same thing. And so if you've learned more than somebody else, the learned is not going to care about the fucking savage. So stand before God. Well, human beings have a big, really, really high and mighty opinion of themselves. Hymn and rhythm. I mean, singing hymns to God and rhythm. I mean, clearly an iteration of rhythm. He has some quote, a paraphrasing, you cannot be stagnated in the presence of God. I think our society has proven otherwise. But that's true for anybody, right? Just someone influential is in a room and you just notice their presence. So that's true for fucking anybody. And then again, if you're talking, I estimate Jesus to be about 350 IQ, but certainly again, chunks of standard deviation smarter than the rest of the populace bona fide. And God is a huge step up from that. I'm just a crazy idiot YouTuber. But the presence thing's true for literally anybody, just in a learning context. Right? Letters to the apostles prove there is no presence that matters that much. Right? The letters to the apostles are to civilizations that apostles went to, and now, just in the same way Peter or John or whoever Jesus' number one disciple went back to fishing right after he got fucking killed. The savages were right back to, probably fucking pedophilia, savage shit. This is ancient history stuff. But individual biological uniqueness, right? Jesus changed the world one person at a time. Everyone's got to live their own life. So that's really what the Acts of the Apostles, or the letters of the Apostles, prove, is that no presence matters that much. And so that was really I finished up my sermon for the day. I might give you a couple more stories at the end, but the only one really relevant was the one at Antrim Park. So now in the news, we have, first of all, Roe versus Wade, just in the historical background. Again, I'm reading facts, this isn't off the top of my head. I don't know, the 410 U.S. 113, but it was decided January 22nd, 1973. And so they had a subsequent rehearing denied in 1973 as well. Remember, the Supreme Court is elected or nominated and verified by the Congress. Nobody really knows their Congress people or the judges or anything. It's just a power grab for people who can't fucking do anything. But Roe versus Wade is not getting overturned. Supreme Court of the United States eat 30 million dicks. Women are the independent sentience. The child is not independently sentient. I'm 28. You could abort me right now. I'd be plenty fine with it. But you people have no ability to speak on this. This is clearly a biological thing. Roe versus Wade will not be overturned. So we just started out with our sermon. Again, Republicans, Christianity is pretty well correlated, and people pro-life. Every life fucking matters. It's the current type of kid's way. No, it just fucking doesn't. It's just wrong. A ball of cells, a blastocyst, even a heartbeat is still not independent. And again, the only reason I would be against late stage is because make a fucking decision for like the second millionth time. But Roe versus Wade is not getting overturned. Absolutely, we're going backwards. We're actually going backwards. It's pretty cool stuff. But it's really all I have to say there. Don't do dumb shit, guys. Try your best to stop doing dumb shit. Try your absolute fucking best. Where's my screenshots? Oh, here we go. Because I thought this was absolutely fucking hilarious. Because again, I've been banned from basically every Reddit thread that I post in just normal ass shit. And we've ripped on the Reddit moderators quite a bit. So this is on the True Off My Chest. And again, these have blown up, so if you're on Reddit, I'm sure you've seen these. But I saw this because I scroll social media literally all day. And so I saw this right as it happened, and I just screenshotted it, and then it clearly blew up. But here's the title of the post. My husband is the moderator of a few different subreddits, and he genuinely thinks it's his job. My husband refuses to look for a job, even though I think it would be good for him, and we could use the additional income. But he just says he's got too much on his plate already. That being monitoring these stupid subreddits. And every time I bring it up, he claims what he's doing is unpaid labor similar to that of a homemaker. But he doesn't clean or cook or do any of that the way he used to. He just monitors these stupid subreddits. I don't know what to do. Sometimes I want to leave him because I believe I may not be able to reach him. Feel bad for the chick, but this is Reddit moderators. Now here's the top comment. This is the pinned comment by the moderators. Fucking love it. I'm seeing many bigoted comments down there, so I just want to make this clear. Any hate towards moderators will result in a permanent ban from this subreddit with no warning. This includes, but is not limited to, calling moderation a fake job. A job where you do not make money is not a job. Or saying that we do it for free. You do it for free. Moderation is one of the most useful jobs to society. Moderation is one of the most useful jobs in society. Moderation in this context means litigation, but that's court. Moderating, again, I kind of agree, is one of the most useful jobs. You guys should all be pinning all of my posts to help spread the word of science and help people and cure diseases and stuff. But then it says behave or get banned. And again, this blew up on Reddit. But this is so fucking hilarious. Like, look at this beta male super and female super society. Behave or get banned. Ban you off this shit website. Reddit's going zero. Reddit is going to fucking zero. During the GameStop hearing, it was absolutely hilarious seeing the little redhead Fred guy running the thing. All of our users vote on our content, and the consumers don't know what the fuck they want. They want a little bit of power, and they're willing to exercise it any chance they get. But it doesn't stop there. Let me make sure it's still rolling. So now I get this other post, and at the time I didn't notice it was the same people. The title is, I'm in love with the idea of one being a 50 Styles housewife. And still on the same Reddit, true off my chest. I'd honestly love to be a housewife, to pack my husband's lunch and kiss him on the cheek before I watch him go to work, to be the songwriter to his singer, but instead I'm the only income at the moment. I'm 31 without children, and my mom and grandma each had at least 2 by 21. My twin sister has 4 kids, and my little sister has 2. My twin stays home and takes care of her kids. My little sister doesn't, but she used to. They work inside the home while making their husband work outside of it. I want that. I'd make sure him and my kids didn't have to lift a finger at home, like Holly Homemaker come to life. We'd make the perfect team. My husband made enough at one point. If all goes well, he'll let me pick him back up so he can dust himself off and do what he has to do to give us the life I'd thinking I'd love. And then obviously the first comment, this is the same person as the assuming lady, yeah, female, as the last one. Kind of, definitely kind of feel bad for the chick, but again, I don't know, make your own fucking choices, marry somebody better. But, like, this is insane. How do these people get wives to begin with, man? Like, how do you get a date? I'm still trying to figure that shit out. Like, there's no, and I'll give you an update if I ever get a date, if I ever get a girlfriend, literally ever. There's no chance it will change until I get publication. Until I get publication, I'm sure I'll be like, oh, voted one of the most attractive people in America or some shit. And it's just literally, speciality. It's literally who's popular, what's going on. But I honestly thought the Reddit moderator's marriage might be on the rocks here. He's too involved, spreading the good word through Reddit. And so I thought that was absolutely fucking hilarious. This episode's pretty short still. Anything else? I have some talking notes. Again, Ben Shapiro, it was a murder sympathizer for the Ahmaud Arbery. Oh, just another thing, because Ben Shapiro says he was trespassing. I genuinely pretty sure I trespass literally every single day just to go on a fucking walk, just because there's not like walking paths around my apartment. Literally, again, I live in an apartment complex, pretty close to highways, no real walking paths, so I have to walk through a little no trespassing sign on the neighborhood over here, and then I ravage the neighborhood by literally walking on the sidewalks. And so trespassing, again, is certainly a very, very, very low-level crime. But seeing, again, Ben Shapiro trying to mark that up as, again, because Ben Shapiro, he's the one that wants to go see the Christian movie, maybe. He might take the kids to go see a Christian movie, maybe. Which I'm not really sure why you would do that if you're Jewish. Jewish religion is substantially differentiated from Christianity or fucking Islam, so I'm not really sure what the play there is. But it's religion. I also saw the Brett Weinstein and Heather Weinstein have some encounter in some country over here where they were just the people were just off-put by them not being religious. And again, there are no religious people in any meaningful sense, and there's no people on this planet that are respectful of religious culture or heritage in any meaningful fucking way. So, honestly, again, because this all ties together with the Republicans and pro-life and freedoms. Oh, another just thing for freedoms and control. Scientific denial is not political, it's personal. And it's about control and freedom. Proof. or example, seatbelts, right? Should I take a vaccine or wearing a mask? There's certainly no real scientific discussion to be had, but there's certainly unknowns. Do seatbelts work like 100% of the time, meaning they decrease your chances of dying in a violent car accident? Yes. Go find old timers and tell them to put a seatbelt on, and there'll still be some that are like, no, don't tell me what to do. Stems from illiteracy, stems from being uneducated, but it really has nothing to do with politics. Politics is the vehicle of groupthink for vaccines and stuff today, but I just thought that was a very poignant example of seatbelts being, no, I'm not going to wear a seatbelt, and there's no unknown variables in that literally whatsoever. So I thought that was a good one. I already went through my notes from praising Jesus, and I just love Jesus. Billy Graham, I'm a sinner. Oh, I love my Jesus. Jesus is going to save me. Just a couple of relevant stories, but I told you the one from Antrim. This is another one. I know I'm not trying to be super rude, because again, if you say God, God, God and do good things, I don't care. Good for you. If you do say God, God, God and do bad things, just stay the fuck away from me. Like, I don't care about commenting on people's behavior or religion or whatever, and I'll rip anybody that disrespects me. But, so again, like I told you, my grandfather passed away. Again, like I said, I come from a very lax Christian background, and where, we go to the funeral, go to the service, and go back to my grandma's house, and my uncle's like, again, either runs a Bible club or preaches at a church or something, and we're just sitting there, and he references like, a moment to preach or to talk about God or something like this, and he's like, I'm not going to pass up a chance to evangelize. That's the real thing of Christianity, is spread the word of God. I'm just sitting there like, scientific denial. And again, I'm a historian. This is not like hidden. You say like something about religion to a religious person, they think you're going to be like, I'm the next Jesus Christ or something. And fun fact, if you actually say you're the next Jesus Christ, a bunch of people probably actually follow you. A good amount of people will actually probably fucking follow you. And so that's really just about speaking. Like the act of preaching, I think, is a very good exercise, meaning just standing up and speaking without any notes. That's not religious at all, but that's what preaching was in historically. And that literally just develops you being able to speak, being able to think and be articulate. And regardless of what ontology you speak, of what discipline you're in, of what job you have, what group of people you're in, if you speak calmly and directly, people will listen. And again, unless you're me, but that's kind of what preaching is. But my uncle was like, I can't miss a chance to preach. And I'm just like, Jesus was a scientist, bro. Like this is spread the word of God, is spreading a scientific proof. That is literally what it is. I'm not trying to put my family on blast at all, but again, it's like, this is one of my first cousins had a health issue, and I'm emailing him about cannabis, and again, Jesus literally spread cannabis. I mean, that's literally what he did, turned water into wine, fermentation, hotboxing at any point in history is 100% cannabis. I already said that like 20 times. But I'm like, man, and then a serious health concern. I'm not going to go into detail. I'm like, hey man, you should take cannabis. This will certainly help your condition. And it will. It would. It has proven evidence. And he's just like, all of these people in my life that don't respect me scientifically, and I try to give them advice, they try to actually be polite back, and I'm not giving them, they have options, but it's like, you can either take science or you can die sooner. It's like, I can't control your behavior, and really fucking can't. But he emails me back, and it's like, thank you for your concern. I will pray for you, and I'll pray for myself. And it's just like, when I start seeing people using God and Jesus to deny scientific evidence when they were scientists, is it's dumbfounding, and it's sad. It's honestly fucking sad. I can't take care of my family in any meaningful fucking way, and I still can't start my own family in any meaningful fucking way, and everyone is just denying science in every context. So, those are just some relevant stories. I mean, nothing super exciting, but I thought it'd be a fun exercise to go to church, go listen to a sermon. So, Roe versus Wade, do not change that, not at all. Go Reddit moderators, and thank you for watching. Wait, what was that? What, before we go, where's that Ice Cube song? If you a scared motherfucker, go to church. I don't know, that's where the title came from. But thank you for watching part 60, Going to Church.